Okay, family, so we have got a lot to talk about. If you're new to the channel, my name is Josiah and I trade stocks and cryptocurrencies for a living. And if you hate making money, this is not the channel for you. If you like making money, if you like learning about stocks, crypto, and investing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. That way you don't miss out on some of the huge moves that we catch just by following along with the stocks that I'm trading, the cryptos that I'm trading. Try to keep it super simple, paint by numbers if you will, so you can just follow along. If you're brand new to it, you don't understand them at all, make sure you go to the link below, download the Webull. Excuse me, my throat's a little scratchy this morning. Download the Webull app, takes about 5 minutes to set up. Put as little as $1 in, and they're going to give you some free stocks just for signing up. And get on there, start paper trading with just fake money, and start learning how to be able to make these trades. Get your confidence up so that you can get into this money printing machine that we know of as the stock market and crypto markets. So we got some things to cover. We had the market running up. We've had a pretty nice rebound over the last few weeks from our lows. And I've got people asking me, is the run over with? I'm going to say no. I still believe that we have more room to run. If you look at historical data, I hate betting against historical data. Midterm elections tends to be a good time for the stock market. I've said all year long that I look for us pushing up into Christmas with the market rising. Now, after we get through kind of December, that's where I really look for the market to start tanking again. But I am sort of looking for the market to be rolling up overall between now and then. Doesn't mean that we can't have a pullback, and I absolutely expect the market to pull back over the next couple of days. We've already got the SPY in the pre-market down nearly 1%. And after Jerome Powell come out and made his speech yesterday, it's funny, I was watching him live, and one of the reporters asked him, said, how do you feel about the fact that the market tends to be digesting what you're saying well? The stock market and bond markets are holding up nicely. He almost looked like a deer in the headlights. He got panicked because the markets wasn't tanking. So then he got a little bit tougher in his speech, and that's when the markets really started to decline. Now, I wanted to address another thing because I've heard some YouTubers out there talking about the Fed, and they're like, who is the Fed? The federal government. For those of you that does not know, the Fed is not the federal government. The Fed is the Federal Reserve banking system. And the Federal Reserve banking system has no ties to the federal government. In fact, if you look at the history of the Federal Reserve, the name was actually put in there intentionally to trick people into believing that it was part of the government. But it is an absolutely separate entity from the government altogether. The Federal Reserve Bank is simply a banking infrastructure, has nothing to do with the government. The government uses them to be able to print money based on deficit, and that's a whole nother discussion. You need to learn about what money really is and monetary policy. One of the best books I could recommend you to is The Creature from Jekyll Island, because once you understand what money is, making money gets so much simpler. Or should I say collecting money gets simpler, because if you're not the Federal Reserve, you're not actually making money, you're just collecting it. And you can get really good at doing it once you understand what money is. I listed that book actually in my top 10 books of what every person should read, and I have a link to that video in the description below. So let's talk about where I see the markets going. Over the next couple of days, I can absolutely see the markets pulling down, which is why over the last few past days, I have been buying up so much UVXY, because I was anticipating this move, and the UVXY is running very nicely. We're up on that position massively. Now, what else does that mean for us? You say, well, the market's going down, that's a bad thing. No, that is a great thing. If you're out here trading like I am, the market's pulling back is a great opportunity to be able to buy stocks at a better price and ride that margin up to even higher wins. So let's look at a couple of stocks that I'm going to be looking at taking a position in. One of those is going to be IMPP. We've been trading IMPP very successfully. We still have oil by the barrel rising, and if I can get into IMPP under 40 cents, I think that's a great price. Closer to 39, even better. And then if it does fall off a little bit, then we'll average down on it and we'll get out when it rides back up. But right now, it's been trading a very tight range between about 39 cents up to about 44 cents. Now, with that being said, that means I'm usually buying in somewhere at around 39 and a half. I don't have to wait for it to get to the very bottom because you may not get your order filled. And then I'm usually selling out 42, 43 cents. That way I make sure I get my order out, get it closed, make that ROI. Because if you're just waiting right there at the very top or the very bottom and you're not getting your order filled, you're not making money. So that's definitely a trick that you can always, if I think that a stock is going to a certain point, I'm going to put my order to buy in or my order to sell in just below that. That way I assure that I get my order filled. And that is something that everybody needs to learn. I've heard way too many people tell me, you said it was going to 62. I put it in at 62. It didn't fill. It only hit 62.01. Okay? I probably had an order in for 62.25. Make sure that I filled that order. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. When I'm looking at where I see that level going, I don't have a crystal ball. I can only give you the best estimate looking at the Fibonacci lines, looking at resistance lines, looking at support lines of where I see something going. And that can fluctuate by, depending on the stock, anywhere from a penny or two to 50 cents or so. So always make sure that you go in just a little above or a little below those buy and sells so that you get your orders filled. Now, another stock that I'm absolutely going to be watching is Coinbase. Now, I picked up some Coinbase yesterday right at my $62 mark because where I actually see it going is right around the 61.90. That is the actual support level. So $62 actually works on that. And that's where I picked it up at. Now, it dropped down even lower. Ended up closing at like $60.71. And if it drops, if it breaks that $60 mark, gets me down there to like $59, I will pick up another position. Now, where could Coinbase go? It is possible that we could see it get back down in the low 50s. We've got support down there. However, we've not touched those levels since BlackRock bought their stake in the company. Since BlackRock bought their stake in the company, I think, let's see here, 59.43 is the absolute low that we've hit since BlackRock bought in. So that gives me a very hard support line right around that level. Now, if it does break that level, then we could see it drop down to old historic levels, which could be down right around $52, $53 at that next support line, which is where I would pick up some more. If it drops that low, I won't be upset. I will be excited to grab it there, because if I can buy it at 52, when it runs back up to $72, $82, I'm going to make even more money than buying it at $62 and running it to that point. Because I absolutely know that as soon as crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the altcoins start to move up, we know coin moves up. It just does. It has done it every time, and we've made a ton of money following that. So make sure you keep an eye on that. There's going to be a lot of companies come up that I'm not talking about here, because I could do a 2-hour long video of companies that have a lot of potential. I will say keep your eye on PayPal. PayPal's reporting today, and there could be a very good play in there. I think PayPal is going to do well on their earnings this afternoon. Could be a good play in there. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more later on today. That's what I got for you. I already run this video out a little bit longer than I like to. So go check out the chart, see if any of this makes sense for your trading. And until next time, be blessed. And remember, never trade with your emotions. Always trade by the numbers.